only use it when they have to. Okay. I do.
Quick question.
Sure.
It involves the structure of this. Typically here and other places, they're used to seeing maybe subtotals or just header columns at the bottom. Does that create an issue here with the inserting of rows? Maybe couldn't. Obviously your cell references will get jacked up if that's the case.
Well, let's say we need to add our, let's go ahead and add the subtotals on here.
But I'm saying like the Janice Joplin job. If we want that on the bottom, below the actual detail.
Gotcha. So you would rather have the customer name and then Janice down here, or
actually this entire
Couldn't you just
this
reference
row actually above these three. So these three come down to like this cell, and then this would be inserted, and you could have like a subtotal for Janice Joplin versus having it stated up here.
Could you just reference it and hide the help?
yeah, I mean, we can hide any row.
I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, I mean, technically I could do the same thing,
You're
and
saying
you
that you
know.
wanted to find a way to work the back, like backward it.
Yeah, I mean I didn't know if it's doable. If it's not, you can create the report. I guess the way you.
Yeah, I mean, I could pull this
Mine could be
code
when
right, and
put
I
the
could
table
just
right
then
with the totals on top.
refresh that.
Right.
Or what you could do is, what I've had one client do is say, okay, well, I'm going to create my subtotals here, right? I'll just put my totals here. And I said, well, I want to have Janice with the total of her commission, so I grab that anchor row. I should add some subtotal 9. Grab that in that anchor row. And then I can just hide those rows, and now I just see kind of the summarization of that information. But if I unhide all this stuff, I now can see the detail as well.
Or just do a link on your bottom row, like your grand total and subtotal, to where it's looking at whatever the top row is, and hide the top row, and it would have all of your details, and then the total line.
Yeah. So come down here and we can just say, and then we've got our subtotal number 9. Okay, grab that. Grab that. So, oops, hit all those. So we can still hide that. If we want to show our customers, that's fine. Did I hide? I still hide. We don't want to hide the customers. This is what we want to hide. This is what we do not want to hide. Okay. In fact, I will even hide that. Okay. So here's all the customers, and then John underneath it. I could expand this if I wanted to and say rows equals 6. That way when I run this, it builds a little bit of a buffer in between. It's just empty space. It grabs those 2 blank rows, so I now see that. But it really just depends on how you want the report. You can get around certain ways. If you really truly wanted to get all the customers first and then the salespeople, you might want to just reverse the report at that point. I just never had a request for that. One thing that I typically would do, and one of the reasons why I bring these values all the way down, right? Because I only need my cell reference workaround on this one row, but I copied it all the way down, and I do this for 2 reasons. The first, it gives me a visual cue of I'm doing rows equals 4. I can quickly see, yep, rows equals 4, this is where it's going to take up that space. The other thing that allows me to do is I can make this a little bit more dynamic. I can say, give me subtotal, oops, not this, I want to say subtotal 4 and add on JJ. So I can quickly just see that as well. Subtotal for JJ, subtotal for JR, that type of thing. Jet is powerful enough, if I really wanted to do this. NL first, go to my sales, oops, give me a comma here. Salesperson, purchaser, table, bring me back the name when the code is equal to this value here. So I'm actually concatenating a string with a jet function to say, okay, well I've got the code, what's the name that's associated with that? Of course I can format this so it stands out a little bit more and do what I gotta do. So I think on that note, I guess we are going to break for lunch. So depending on how you want to build the report, you can kind of get creative. But if it's really going to show all the customers and then the salesperson totals for those customers, if you have, you might want to just build it a different way than try and finagle it and bring things around. And if this works, great, but that might not be what you're specifically after. Let's unhide all that stuff. So that's my grouping report. The only thing I would need to do is just add in my report total, which is the same thing, subtotal. Oops. Number 9, wrap that replicator all the way through that anchor row. And the same thing over here. And the formatting. Now I can see the individual totals and the report total, which I didn't grab correctly.
I think you still had it at 6 on there. I think you said the rows is 6.
Oh, that's why I'm thinking. Yep. Showing off that little. Alright, do I get the correct totals? Alright, so yeah, we're gonna break for lunch. We will, if you want, we can do another example together, but there's exercises for you guys to do afterwards. There's 3 exercises. We're just going to choose one of them based on who wants to do what. In fact, we'll actually do exercise number 3, item sales by customer.
What page is that on?
That is on page 418.
18.
We've got examples on page 415, 416, and 418. But we're just going to do 418. If we have time, we can always go back and do more.